Hello everybody, are you ready to do some crafts? Now I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, but sometimes we get to the month of January and it's like, oh, now what? Everything fun to look forward to, Christmas or Thanksgiving or time with family or a break from school or all of the special programs and music. We were looking forward to all of that and now it's all over. Now it's just January. I used to feel that way when I was a kid. And so one of the things that helps is when we have snow. And we've got snow right now. In fact, it is snowing right now outside my window, and it's the good snow. It's the fort building snow. It's the snowman building snow. Not like that dry stuff we got earlier that blew all over the Dakotas. This is the good snow. But sometimes we might not have snow even to go play in outside. But that doesn't mean that we can't make snowman with some art. All right, so we're going to do a whole bunch of different crafts together, all themed around snowmen, snow women, snow people, and we're going to see what type of creativity we can display. So I'm going to move my camera down to my workspace here, see if we can make it not fall over. And we're going to start with a really simple one. For this one, you're just going to need some different colored paint. All right, so I've got some different colored paint because we're making a snowman. So what colors do you want your snowman to have, do you think? So pick some fun colors, and then we need some Q-tips. Some Q-tips, all right? Maybe you've got these in the bathroom or in the cupboard. Now, if you don't have Q-tips, you could also use a pencil. You could use a pencil and you can use the eraser portion of it and dip it in the paint because we're going to use this as our paintbrush so that we can make circles. So we can make circles here, right? Then I'm going to use a blue piece of construction paper. You could pick whatever color you wanted, but I'm going to do blue. And we're going to do what's almost called, I think you say it, pointillism, where all of our art is made out of little circles, like our Q-tip or our pencil end. So it's just going to be a picture, but it's all made up of little dots. So to start with, I'm going to start with my white paint here. I'm going to start with my white paint, and I'm going to make the ground where my snowman's going to sit. Okay, so we're just going to cover this. Look at all of these dots we've got to make. All right, so is your snowman going to be on flat ground? Is it going to be on a hill? That's up to you. And then we kind of get to decide, well, how full of dots am I going to make this? Okay, but we're just going to fill this up with all of the dots. And now it's time to start making my snowman. So how do we make a snowman? All right, I'm not going to start singing, do you want to build a snowman? But how do we make it? Well, we got to start with a big circle on the bottom. Oh, that's a little lopsided, so if we don't get our circle right, that's okay because it just becomes part of our dots here. We're just going to fill this in. So there's my bottom circle. Now what comes? Now we got to make a slightly smaller one in the middle. And if you notice that your Q-tip starts getting kind of smushy, you can always, because look at how smushed mine got. You can always flip and start with the other side or pick a new Q-tip. And now what goes on top? A smaller one yet. And see, it doesn't matter if it's not a perfect circle. I don't know that we ever get perfect circles in our snowman. Okay, so there's the base for my snowman. What do you think? Does it look like a snowman so far? Maybe I need a little bit more here because it looks a little like an oval. Okay, now I'm going to get a different Q-tip to swap colors so I don't get paint on my fingers. What does a snowman usually have decorating it? Well, I think I'm going to start with a hat on top. Now, you could give him a stocking cap with different colors. I'm going to go a Frosty the Snowman route, and I'm going to give him what we call like a stovepipe hat, kind of like the Abraham Lincoln hat, the old gentleman hat. But you could make whatever hat you want. You could do a hat like one that has like one of those pom-poms on it. You could do all sorts of colors. Up to you. But here's my hat here. Okay, now we need some eyes. So because I got all smushy on this side, I'm going to flip over and I'm going to do my black eyes here, and I want a really nice circle. So don't mess up. Don't mess up. Okay, and another one. There we go. And now the same for its mouth, right? Same for his mouth. Like if I did rocks, or maybe we always talk about like coal. Maybe did you get coal in your stocking? I'm gonna give him a mouth here. And I gotta get more paint. Now, you could make whatever expression you wanted on his face, but he's coming together. He's coming together. And then some buttons, right? Do we put some buttons like it looks like he's wearing a sweater? I want those to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to make a big circle. Okay, now for his nose. For his carrot nose, how am I going to make a carrot nose with a Q-tip? So I'm going to start with a circle. And now I'm just going to come out like this. Whoop. And just kind of treat it like a paintbrush and see if we can get it skinny like a carrot. I think I'm going to call that good before I goober him up more. But now, does he need a scarf or something? I think let's do a red scarf. Let's do a red scarf here. So, then I'll have the scarf flying into the breeze. How about? Because it's windy. It's always windy in the Dakotas, don't you think? Okay, flying in the breeze. So now he's got a scarf. Now what does our snowman need? He needs arms. Okay, so I'm going to take some brown paint. I'm going to give him some arms. Some nice stick arms. All right, what do we think? Not too shabby. I'm kind of liking the way this guy is looking. Or this gal, or this, whoever this is. Now, you could decorate your snowman however you wanted. You could decorate however you wanted. But now we want to make it look like it's snowing outside. And I want small snowflakes. So I'm going to pull off some of the cotton off of my Q-tip here and make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to dip it in my white paint again. And now I'm just going to cover it. Just going to cover it like it's snowing. And like the streaky places are where the wind blew it. Just gonna cover with snow. I think I'm gonna call Frosty good here. What do you think of that? That's not too shabby. He turned out kind of cute. I'll show you one that I made a little bit earlier. This one, same type of style, but you can see I made a multicolored scarf. I didn't have that one flying in the wind. I had it come down, and I gave him like buttons, different colored buttons. So you can be as creative as you want. But this is our snowman made really simple, right? Just a little bit of paint and a Q-tip or an eraser top, and you got yourself some pointillism, or a snowman made all out of dots. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside so I don't get myself all goobery. Next one we're going to do involves a paper plate. All right, we're going to make a paper plate snowman. So I've got my paper plate. Man, what a perfect circle for a snowman face, don't you think? And I'm going to start by giving him eyes. Now I could draw eyes, but I happen to have some googly eyes. So I'm going to give him googly eyes. Okay, so I'm going to give a little bit of glue here. We're going to give him more googly eyes. You could also use a bowl for this, anything round. You could just cut it out of paper if you wanted to, but a paper plate's already nice and round for me. Now I need to give him a nose. So I've got some scrap paper here. I've got some orange scrap paper, and we're just gonna try and make a carrot shape. So we're just gonna make a carrot. What else have you used on a snowman to decorate him? Because I feel like sometimes we think, well, we have to use a carrot. Well, what if you don't have a carrot? What else could you use as a nose, or what else could you use as eyes or as his mouth, right? Sometimes we can be as creative as we want. Now, there was one Christmas when I don't remember how old I was, but my cousins and I ended up making a snow toilet instead of a snowman, because it ended up being more of like a throne you sat on, and we're like, let's just make this look like a toilet. So we had a snow fake toilet. Don't use the toilet. We had a snow toilet that sat in our yard all winter until it melted. Now, what do I want to use for his mouth? What do I want to use for his mouth? I think I'm going to use some beads. I'm going to take some beads here, and I could give him a color, or I could do black here. But you can be as creative as we want. We can make our snow people look all sorts of different ways. What else could you use instead of rocks for the mouth or the buttons? Or how can we design our snow people to be so different and unique, just like we are? Okay, so now I've got a mouth. Now I need to decorate. I need some flair. What else do we usually put on a snowman? Well, how about something on his head? Okay, how about those earmuff things? Okay, so instead of a hat, let's give him an earmuff. So I'm going to take a couple of pipe cleaners here, and I'm just going to twist this and make it look like it's that band on an earmuff. I'm just going to twist that around. I'm just going to attach it like this. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Oh, I closed my glue because I was a good student. I didn't want it to dry out. And we're going to put our glue. And then this is kind of a tricky one because you gotta bend. Oh, see, my glue fell off onto my table. You gotta bend it and hold it. So if you were doing this with an adult and you wanted to use a hot glue gun, that goes a little bit faster, because I think what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to have to pinch it with some clips. So let me grab some clips so that he can dry. Okay, so I'm going to actually take these little clips, or you could use like a paper clip. I'm going to clip that on there so that the glue can dry, holding it since it's bendy like that. I'm going to clip that there too. But see, maybe the clips are even part of his accessories. Okay, so I'm going to wipe up my glue here so I don't get that in there. Now, I want to give him a scarf. And since I used some green, let's give him a green scarf. So I'm just going to use some scrap paper. I'm going to use some scrap paper. Let's see, a little bit shorter than that. I'm going to go with this to attach it. But what makes like your perfect snowman scarf? When it has the fringe, right? That's what we call it, the fringe. So I'm going to take some more strips here. And we're going to just cut it to look like a scarf fringe. So we're just going to make all of these little itty bitty cuts, like the yarn on the end of the scarf that blows in the wind. Right? And now I'm going to attach it like that. So it looks like I've got it wrapped around, right? Where you wrap your scarf around you. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue on, like that. A little bit of glue, like that. And look at my snowman is coming together. Look at him. He's not too shabby. Now, I'm going to set this one aside to dry, and I'll show you one that I did a little bit earlier that already dried. All right, so this one's maybe my snow lady, okay? Although men can wear pink too. All right, it's a very nice color. But I'm going to show you something here with this one. I used pom-poms, and then I put pom-poms here too for the earmuffs. But now I'm going to add some eyelashes. So I'm going to take my pencil here, and I'm going to add some eyelashes just to give some more personality to my snow lady. You can't really see those very well, huh? I should probably made them a little bit darker. All right, but there's all different ways that we could decorate our paper plate snow person. All right, so you have fun decorating one of those. The next one we're going to do together involves a toilet paper tube or a paper towel roll tube, all right? So the next time you run out of toilet paper, you use up all the paper towels, save it. And then I actually really liked doing this with a paper towel holder or a paper towel roll, because you can see here that I painted it white. Okay, I painted it white. Well, with a toilet paper tube, it's already the size that we want. So when I was painting it, I got kind of messy and I got paint on myself. But with my paper towel roll, I could hold it down here at the bottom and just paint the top portion. And then once it's dry, you can cut a chunk off that you want to use. All right, so I've got my roll here and I've got it painted white. And now we're gonna bring in our paint again. We're gonna bring in our paint and we're gonna decorate another snowman. So I've got a paintbrush this time, but we could also still use a Q-tip if you wanted to. All right, so we're gonna start by deciding where do you want your face to be. And I'm gonna take some black. You could do blue eyes, you could do green eyes, but black is gonna show up easiest for the camera. So I'm gonna make my eyes here. One eye and two eyes. And then the same with the mouth. Okay, so there's the start. Now I'm going to use a paper clip here that I bent, and I'm going to give it some eyebrows. So I'm just going to dip it into the paint so it's very, very fine, and we're going to give some eyebrows here. Because eyebrows kind of show some personality, don't they? The direction and what our eyebrows, right? See, he's kind of already got a little different expression on his face just from some eyebrows. Now, I'm going to use a Kleenex here to wipe my brush instead of rinsing it in water just so we don't get super messy. I need to make my nose. So we're going to make some orange here. We're going to make our carrot nose. I mean, you could choose a celery nose. You could do what's another good vegetable? You could use a potato for a nose. Okay, so there's my nose. Now we're gonna add some more personality here. I'm gonna mix a little bit of white with a little bit of red to get a little bit of pink. And we're gonna make it look like he's got rosy cheeks. So we're just gonna add some little rosy cheeks. Some are rosy because it's outside. Does your nose or your face ever turn nice and rosy when you're outside in the cold? All right, so he's got some rosy cheeks. And then the final thing we're gonna do here, I think we've dried enough, is I'm gonna put just a little bit of a glisten, a twinkle in the eye of white. So we're just gonna take the littlest, ittiest, bittiest piece of white and we're gonna put it in his eye there to make it a twinkle. Okay, so see, that kind of adds some personality to our snow person here. Now, what about some buttons? I'm gonna do red buttons. Red buttons. I'm gonna go lower so that there's room for our scarf. And then that's all I'm gonna do for paint. But don't you see he's kind of got a little glimmer going. So I'm gonna move my paint out of the way so that I don't bump that. Now, this part I'm going to explain it to you, but I'm not going to be able to show you because my glue will not dry in time and it's going to be kind of tricky. I've got a piece of felt here, but you could use yarn, whatever you wanted, but I'm going to make this be his scarf. So I'm just going to wrap my felt around here and then I'm just going to do a simple, I don't want to smudge the paint, a simple little knot. You don't even have to do a complete tennis shoe knot. Just one little knot, and there's my little scarf. Now I've got little piece of pipe cleaner, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna make another earmuff for him. But you could make a hat if you wanted to also. But see how I can kind of position that there, but I need to glue it. So you can kind of see I would glue it there, and then take some pom-poms to be like his earmuffs. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold this and show you what that would look like. Isn't he so cute? Man, you could make a whole snow family this way and display them in your windowsill. Oh, so cute. I'm gonna show you the one that I made earlier that's already dried because you wanna glue these, and hot glue works pretty well. You kind of have to just make sure that it sticks there, but that takes a little bit of time, okay? So If you're gonna glue it, just be patient, it'll work. Here's the one that I made earlier and I glued it in place. Okay, but isn't that just so cute? I can't get over it. All the difference made from just adding a little bit of color and that glisten in the eyes and the eyebrows that we can't really do the same way when we're making our snowman out in the yard. Okay, so add some fun personality to your snow people. All right, and our final one is we're gonna draw a snowman. We're just gonna use crayons. You could use colored pencils. You could use chalk. You could use pastels. You could use, well, markers might not work because we're going to use white for our snowman, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to draw this with some perspective to it. Because most of the time when we make a snowman, it looks like the one we did earlier, right? You're looking straight at the snow person, looking straight at him. But can we add some dimension? Can we make him maybe look like he's looking at us? Or a little more 3D? Okay, as opposed to our cute little toilet paper tube snowman that just looking straight at you. So how do we make a snow person with some perspective, we would call it? So we're going to draw this one. I'm going to start by making a big half circle here. So I'm going to cover my corner and I'm going to push pretty hard and I'm going to do this number. I'm going to do that number. You can kind of see my line there. And then again, imagine my snowman's like this. Now I'm going to draw another circle on top of that and another circle on top of that. All right, are you seeing the perspective? It's almost like if I were laying down in the snow looking up at my snowman. And now I just get to add some color here. Maybe I should have done this one on black paper on darker blue so you could see. Because I don't need to color it all. I don't need to color all of it, but I'm just going to add some lines. Now, if you were using pastels, like we used the pastels in our Christmas tree craft where we kind of blended, you could do all sorts of color layering. You could make it look pretty 3D, three-dimensional, but I'm kind of using this one simple here. And now we're just going to fill in this one with some snow looking. Okay, so now I've got my basics in place. Now for some eyes. So I'm going to take my black crayon and maybe, whoop, I don't want to shake the table too bad. I'm going to make them more square. And then let's draw a circle like that. Okay, so we're just making him come to life. Now for a nose. Whoop. I'll tip some stuff over here from coloring. Do you see how it looks like he's looking down at you? And now we've got some arms. And a scarf. How about a blue scarf? Ooh, sorry if this is making it all blurry. And let's have this one going into the wind with my fringe. And how about a hat? How about a red hat here? Let's give him a stocking cap. So we're going to give him a stocking cap. And what color should my pom-pom be on top? How about pink? Okay, so there's my pom-pom on top. And now I just need some buttons. What color should my buttons be? How about green buttons? Okay, so it's just a different perspective from looking at our snowman. You could draw these as complex and as detailed and as beautiful as you wanted. You could get really creative and even think, How would we draw a snowman if we wanted it to be like we were looking at him from on top? How would we do that? Or how would we look at a snowman if we were looking at him from the side? And could you make a side profile? There's all sorts of different perspectives that we can do with our snowman. Here's another one that I made, right? Again, just looks like you're looking at him from laying down at the ground and he's up above you. That different perspective, the different point of view. So that is our craft corner with all of our snowmen. So let's just look at all that we've made. We had our Q-tip snowman with some paint. All right, our pointillism. We made one with a paper plate. Oh, so cute with your earmuffs and your googly eyes. We did a toilet paper tube with that glisten in the eye, that little emotion with the eyebrows and the rosy cheeks. And then we took, what about a different perspective on a snow person? And you could dress them up, right? You could dress your snow people all up. You could try and put a coat on them. So, man, the possibilities are endless. So, if it's too cold outside or the snow's not right outside for making a snow person, you've got plenty of opportunities to make one on the inside. And I would love to see how your snow people turn out. Your snowmen, your snow women, your snow dogs, your snow cats, your snow kids. Man, I can't wait to see what you come up with. You're all so creative and talented. So have fun with all of these different crafts, and I will see you next time.